So on this show, one of my purposes is to make sure I'm putting out relevant and relatable content. And like we've said before, both of us are single. We're obviously both single Black women. And we hear so many statistics about Black women and dating when we in just in family life in general. You know, I've seen statistics, and I'm sure you've seen them. 70% of Black children are born in single parent homes versus only 30%. So the exact opposite when compared to Caucasian children. And Black women, according to ncbi.gov, typically are getting married at a later age. So, and this is to a 2010 study during the last census. So we're getting married at around 30 if we get married. And versus other races, white women, Latinas, they're getting married around 26. And so with these discrepancies, first of all, how do you feel about that? And what would be your specific advice when it comes to maximizing your life? And also when it comes to marriage and dating, what specific advice do you have for Black women?
So I've heard, and I'll share my experience. I know I have been told that I'm intimidating. That's one of the biggest words that you will hear when it comes to women who, quote unquote, have some form of power or who are in positions of authority and different things like that. And then you add a skin color to it, and you know it's already a stigma that this beautiful chocolate, you know, taffy, caramel, mocha, whatever flavor it is you are as a African American individual, already is an intimidating aspect of it. And so for me, I even asked a relationship expert, and this individual is very, very much well known. So I went to a seminar that he was a part of at a women's conference, and I sat and I listened, and you know, different things like that. And I asked a question. I said, you know, why is it that men find, you know, women like myself or like you, why is the word intimidated using? And the one thing he said to me, he said, well, you know, do you smile? I said, if you know me, I smile 24/7. I'm laughing
Exactly.
at everything, you know. Yeah. Then he said, how is your social media presence? And yada, yada, yada. I said, you can go to my social media right now. I'm smiling on there as well, you know. And so he really couldn't give me an answer. Mm-hmm. He really couldn't give me an answer about that. And so I left the seminar the same way I came in, answerless about what it is about being intimidating. And so I have a lot of my friends and I have colleagues and different things like that. And I was told that unfortunately, some men do not have the security in themselves to handle a woman who has, I don't want to say have it all, but she is in right standing in the things that she needs to do. And she is so focused on these various things that she is purpose or she has been called to do, that he doesn't think that she has time for him, or he does not think that, you know, she is willing to give up certain things in order to be with him. And so again, I was like, I don't know, you know, but that answer. So
yeah. So you think that Black women, because we are, you can look at the statistics, I know you know, you're an educator, that we're very educated. A lot of Black women have bachelor's, master's, PhDs, doctorates. So, and there's some studies with that as well, showing that women who are more educated are less likely to get married. So do you think that that education factor, because many Black women want to date or marry Black men, and Black men statistically have less degrees or less educated overall. And we know that's not always the case, of course. So do you think like the education aspect is what is intimidating, or is intimidation really the issue?
And so that's a great question. I honestly, I really don't know. you know, we're talking with different men again, and just trying to get their aspect and their perspective on it. I don't feel like sometimes, okay, I will say this. Unfortunately, some women, and in particular, speaking as a Black woman, we tend to throw things in people's face when we are highly educated, or, you know, we have this, and that. And yes, you should be proud. You should be absolutely proud that you have accomplished in these areas, but those areas should not become an idol in your life. And why I said that is because we won't think twice at looking at, you know, a man who is in some type of trade. So say for instance, if he is an HVAC, or he is in plumbing or different things like that, and we think because he doesn't have that bachelor's or that master's or a PhD or whatever it may be, that he is not equal, or he is not worthy to be in our presence. And ladies, we've got to stop that, whether you're Black, white, Latino, all this different stuff like that. Because if you really go look at the salary of some of these individuals,
Right.
they are making more than all these degrees put together.
Yeah.
I have a student, and she, like Shantae said, I'm an educator. I have a student who graduated from high school, went to HVAC. I have a PhD degree, okay? A whole PhD, and that child is making more than me.
Yeah, and I hear about that all the time. I know.
And he went to school for 2 years.
Oh, nice. That's wild, but okay.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so I think we've got to be, as women, we have got to be mindful of, you know, how it is that we treat the men within our community. You know, we've got to return our kings back to the pedestal in which they have been. Now, they haven't fallen off, but they've been pushed off in our society, that have been that have scorned them, and that have, you know, brought this image of them as being inferior, as being less than. We've got to return our kings back to our pedestal. So I will challenge my sisters out there. Yes, have standards. No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Please have standards. You should have standards. You should know what you desire. But at the same token, you never know what God can use, or whom God desires to use to bless you. And remember, marriage is a thing of a partnership. You're going to build together. It is not an addition. It's not 1 + 1 = 1. It's multiplication. It's 1 × 1 = 1. You're supposed to multiply each other. You're supposed to encourage each other. Again, I've seen marriages where, you know, she outbanks him, you know, but you can never tell, because the way she loves on him, she has placed him into his rightful place as the king, you know, of the castle, or whomever it may be. But I do think intimidation does come from, you know, the status of our education. Yes, I do think intimidation is a thing that is existent, and that is because they don't. Unfortunately, some men do not know how to handle a woman who has been in an authoritative position, who has obtained all these things, whether it is the degrees, the house, the positions, whatever it may be. You know, they don't know how to approach her, or they're not confident sometimes, because she may become standoffish. You know, but so it's one of those things that, in some parts, is definitely my sisters, you know, including myself, and some parts is definitely the men. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Sabreen, that's all I have as far as questions. Thank you so much. All of that was so insightful and so good. Where can people find you online? And tell us about your, is there a link or a website for your book as well?
So www.drsamayam.com. My website is actually being updated right now by the wonderful Miss Lori Pogue. She is tremendous when it comes to doing all those fancy stuff. So right now, the website is under construction, but you, of course, you can find me on all social media platforms: Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. www.drsamin.com is my website, but for social media is at Dr. Sam I Am one for Twitter and for Instagram, and at Dr. Sam I Am on Facebook. And then, of course, LinkedIn is just Sabreen Mutawally. You'll find me there.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you so much. This interview was very good. I enjoyed talking to you. Very good information, a lot of nuggets, y'all. So I hope you listen to Dr. Mutawally. All right, she has some good information. Pick up her new journal. I'll put all your information in the description box of this video so
Thank
people can
you.
just click on it and go. All
Thank
right.
you.
Well,
Thank
thank you
y'all.
so much. And you have a good one. And that's it. Okay, y'all. So that's all for today's conversation with Sabreen. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope it was informative and helpful for you. And do me a favor, if you have not already, please go ahead and subscribe and also hit the notification button so you can stay up to date with all the latest content. And hey, feel free to leave a comment. Tell us what you thought about today's episode, and if you have any suggestions about some future interviews you'd like to see and some future topics you'd like to see covered on this channel, let me know. All right, thank you so much and have a good one. Bye.